Okay, viewers, this one we're doing it a little bit different. DNS Vicky Engels, Vicky Afrikaans, because I am joined by my lovely brother, Urey Botha. He has been a ref for 12 years now. 12, going to 13, 14. How long?
Yeah.
How long do you still think you're going to be refing for, Urey, before we get into anything else?
I would like another 10 years. I would like another 10 years.
Do you think you can do another 10 years? I'm sure you can.
Yeah, definitely. If I'm still alive,
Okay.
of course.
But yeah, anyways, like I said, viewers, we are joined by one of our own refs here in Namibia, all the way from Namibia to South Africa, back to Namibia. Urey Botha is a ref for rugby matches here in Namibia, and he's joining us for Athletes World to just dive into the lives of referees, because no one speaks a lot about what referees go through, beat the good, beat the bad. We all know that you need to have thick skin to be a ref. So, yeah, Urey, how are you doing?
Good in you.
Can't complain. Can't complain. Let's get right into it, Urey. So, tell us a bit about your career before you got into being a ref. What pushed you? What got you to that point where you said, "Okay, cool. I think I should be a ref now"?
I must say, Ryan, that's a very good question. If I go back to my primary school, yes, I was in a small little primary school in Mpumalanga,
Okay.
Laerskool Sandra. So start playing rugby, cricket, small school, you need to do everything. There's just that amount of boys in the school.
Okay.
Played rugby, went to high school, got a bursary at Hoërskool Kempton Park.
Okay.
To be a runner, 800 meter athlete. And then
Okay.
when I would turn 16, my career choices was brought to me and said, you need to choose now.
Okay. That's why you now had to choose between the running, rugby.
Athletics, cricket, rugby.
Okay.
I also played primary schools years. I played all three sports. Provincial.
Okay.
I was in the Pumas team for rugby, cricket, and for the athletics.
Okay.
So at 16, I needed to make the choice, and I chose athletics. That year, I was part of the Commonwealth Games. 16 years old boy,
Okay.
running with the seniors, 800 meters. Yeah, so it was actually easy at that time. Came back, and we all know what is happening in, if I can say, in South Africa sports, money-wise now.
Yeah.
Got a bursary at UJ, University of Johannesburg,
Okay.
and then someone saw me in America. I went to Tulsa for 3 years for running, and came back, and then I started riffing, just like that.
Wow, look, you never told me about this. This is very interesting. So, Telsa,
Yes,
3 years
3 years,
to go run.
just to do athletics, yes.
Now, when did you switch your athletics career for refereeing? What sparked that move?
You see, when I was at Tulsa, we ran for the university, but club base.
Yes.
So everything was, you got money, you got your pocket money, you got your dailies, you got all of that. When you get back to South Africa, and I think that was where the big problem came in is you need to survive now.
Okay.
You need to get yourself on your feet. You don't have sponsors, and I think that's a few years back now. But then one day I said, yes, got into teaching, primary school teacher,
Okay.
and then primary school teachers then needs to ref.
Okay.
So start reffing. Did my first game, one of the Falke, that time it was at the Falke, yes, came to me and said, yes, what a game, it's my first game. I didn't,
Is that that's the first game you ref now?
I ref.
Which year was that, if you can still remember?
Yeah, no, I can't remember that.
Okay.
And then, I think it's about 2017, or no, less, but anyway, somewhere there. And he said, no, you need to come to the training camp. I'm like, okay, let's go for the training camp. I refed, Brian, I don't want to lie to you, I refed 4 months. And that year I went to my first Craven Week under 13, and I refed the final day.
4 months?
Yes.
And then 4 months later, you went to ref at the Craven Week under 13.
And I refed the final,
Ref the
border
final.
against VP.
After 4 months already.
Just 4 months.
So you're already at the Caribbean Week. And we all know that Caribbean Week is such a big thing in South
Yeah.
Africa. We always have teams from Namibia that participate in the Caribbean Week. Fast forward to where we are now today.
Okay.
Just give us a few mentions of the different tournaments you've refed in. The stadium behind us, you've been there.
Yeah.
You've refed there.
That's where I would ref the Caribbean Week under 13 final, on that stadium.
My question is, before we talk about anything else, this stadium is so big, man.
Yeah.
It gets filled by so many people. So
Yes.
you already see the type of drama, the type of, just the type of drama that comes with games here in Windhoek itself.
Yeah.
Recently, you just refed the game between Glasgow United and UNAM. And there was a lot of trouble after the game. I mean, you came back from a long injury, but fans wanted to grab you by the neck, you know? So in a stadium like that,
Yes.
how do you deal with the pressure? How do you deal with the negativity? Because at the end of the day, it's two teams against each other. Everyone is always going to have an opinion,
Yeah.
regardless of how you ref. So everyone is always going to have something to say. How do you block that out?
You see, Brian, the big thing there is, I think you said it earlier when we was just sitting and chatting, you need to have a thick skin.
Yeah.
You need to take it in. And me as a referee, I love the bad things of a stadium or from people,
Yeah.
because that gives me energy.
Yeah.
So bad of slechte kritiek, if
Okay.
I can say it that way, helps me grow as a referee.
So bad criticism,
Yes,
laat werk jou op jou.
op my best.
Okay.
So, and where other referees get shake, it puts petrol
On the fire now.
on the fire for me.
Uh-huh.
Or fire on the vice versa.
Vice versa.
Yeah. So a few years back, and I told, just this morning, I told Blitz Focus team, when you go into Argentina, places like that, Chile, ref there, you ref in a cage, literally a cage. There's barbed wire fence around. It's the soccer stadiums.
Yeah.
We all know it's the soccer stadium.
Yeah, is this now for the safety?
That is for safety, because it's flares, it's bottles that get thrown at you. It's quite hectic.
Yeah.
People don't understand how tough refereeing outside Africa is. It's getting, especially those countries there, Uruguay, Paraguay.
Yeah, they're in South America.
Yeah.
I think one of the rugby players from UNAM that I spoke to, he also spent some time in, I think, either Argentina, but somewhere in South America. He said, ons speel letterlik in 'n hoenderhok.
Yeah.
Like the cage gets closed off. A hoenderhok is now, you guys know, a chicken coop, whatever it's called. Yeah, but he said the gates get locked. There's a fence.
Yeah.
And then when it's locked, you guys are in there. You play.
You play.
So how does it feel being now in those type of games where there's a fence between you and the fence, because you know things can get ugly at any time?
You know, yeah, it can get ugly in a split second there.
Yeah.
But the nice thing of those games is the fans are so passionate. And I think that's why one of my games, it was a friendly game between two clubs, but it's the two top clubs before the season started.
Okay.
When I arrived there, they said, no, you must stop at the local police station. I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
I can go straight to the
the
stadium.
game,
They said,
yeah.
no, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so I drive to the local police station. I literally got put in on the back of a police van
Seriously.
to get to the stadium. And when you drive in, the fans are standing there. It flares. It's chaos. It's literally chaos. Those soccer games that you see on
The television.
television, exactly the same.
it's
There's the
same
big
as on
flags, everything, and
Yeah.
it just, when you walk out for your warm up,
Uh-huh.
it's a long cage
Like you
into
walk
a
through now.
cage. It's a long cage into a cage.
So you go through a long tunnel,
Yes,
and then sure, okay.
and then you get on the field, you start warming up, and then there's police. The stadium gets split in half.
Okay.
So security and police, that's one side's fans, and this is the other side's fans.
Uh-huh.
So, and that's where I think I learned to take the bad things of a game
Yes.
and make it a great thing of a game.
Uh-huh.
Because in your personal life, you're gonna get these things outside rugby as well.
Yeah.
Like let's go back to Saturday.
Let's
The
go back
guy
to
with the
Saturday.
green T-shirt. I wish he can come or phone me. I'm on Facebook. Find me. He came up running, swiped at me, and I laughed at him. I said, "You didn't have enough pampoen sap you must drink a little bit more. Things like that. It doesn't bother me, but it's not because I'm that type of referee.
Yeah.
But next time you get another type of referee,
It might end different.
it ain't different.
Yeah.
And then it's chaos because and the thing of a referee is you always need to have 10 eyes in your head.
Yeah.
Because you need to know what is happening around you, fast movements and things like that. So, and that makes you also better. And I saw that guy coming from a mile.
Okay.
And I waited until, and I just went back and I'm like, rarig.
So he tried to now.
He slapped me.
And this was at the Trasco United game, like we just said earlier, between Trasco United and UNAM at the Gemsbok Park. It really does get ugly. You get people that are very passionate about the game because some fans might have felt that, okay, no, they lost the game because of you, as a Trasco United fan, which is, like we said, everyone is allowed an opinion. But acting out is now just taking it a step further. So whenever you are faced with people now that are maybe angry at you or people that are not happy with your decisions, how do you respond to people like that? What is your response to them? How do you always handle the situation to make sure it doesn't escalate or go further?
You see, the big thing is, Brian, I always, when a coach or a team manager or someone wants to talk to me, I said, I'm just going to get undressed, have a cool drink, and then we can talk. Because at that moment, at that point, it's just flames. You are the worst thing on two legs.
Yes.
So while he's standing and waiting outside or having another beer or another whatever, and you sitting and getting dressed slowly, have a chat with your ARs, do this, phone your wife or your girlfriend, whatever. And then when you come out, it's actually calm.
It's more relaxed,
Yeah, more relaxed. So you can have a discussion. What the big problem is, and I think 99% of people always react on that because now you get a referee that will tell that guy back, I won't leave you, or I know who you are, or when he swipes, the referee swipes back.
Yeah.
And then it's
chaos now again. It's a whole fight that breaks out.
So the big thing is just go into your locker room, sit, calm down, think of your game, and everything happened with the United game happened about one try, and we had the evidence.
I think viewers, please hang tight. We do have the video clip of that try. So we're just going to have a quick look at it, and then we'll be back to just discuss and maybe get your thoughts on the try itself. Was it a try? Was it not? That's what Trasco United fans were disputing. But luckily, we did get the footage, and we do have the footage. So hang tight. We'll be back just now. Okay, well, guys, there you saw the try, and if you now think about it, Yure,
yes,
that's a big call.
That's a huge call.
That's a very, very big call. Very brave of you to give that try, and everyone was disputing this. I think this is one of the reasons why people were mad at you at that game.
Yes.
But we saw with how the try went. We all know that we can all see. When the player touches the ball with both hands, gets the try. How proud? Okay, because after the game, you and I did have a chat.
Yes.
And I was honest with you. I told you made a few bad calls.
Yes.
In the match, and you were like, okay, how many? We spoke about it. I said maybe 2 or 3, and you weren't angry about it. You just said, okay, cool. Show me the footage that you have.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at it. How happy were you when we looked at that try and you knew you made the right call?
You see, Brian, over my years of experience, a referee, I don't say, reacts like a dog after a ball. So when you have a dog chasing a ball, you as a referee runs behind the ball. And then sometimes you're in a bad position not to make the call.
Yeah.
And then you make a call that is incorrect. So for me, the most important thing of that was I knew this guy, he was 20 meters in front of the nearest United player. I need to get into a perfect position. He's not going to pick up this ball. He's going to kick it all the way from his own 5 meter line all the way to the try line. So I ran a 7th line at that moment. So you see the ball, you don't care about the player. You just need to see the hands on the ball. So if you look at the clip, you will see I'm coming between the 2 posts. I'm not even close to
the player or
the ball. And that is where you need to put yourself as a referee. But it comes over years' experience of refereeing to put you in that position to make sure everything is perfect.
And you get that call right.
Well,
viewers, that was a very good call from you, Ray, getting that try. The game itself was a very good game. Yeah. Very close game. Trasco United could have won that game if they weren't trying to play for that extra bonus. Or trying to, but I understand they were still feeling like the momentum was with them. They were playing a good game. For you, you were off for a long period of time with an injury. 2 months off, haven't ref for a while. How did it feel coming back to such a big game and that being your first game back?
It was quite exciting. I wasn't worried about my injury. I was more worried about do this game fit me at this stage?
Yes, is it the right time to come back?
Yes. But my question to myself was on Wednesday night when I got the appointment, is there ever a right time? After a long injury and things like that.
Yeah.
So 4 years back, before my under 19 Currie Cup final, 2 weeks before that, I pulled my hamstring. So again, I didn't practice for 2 weeks. And I didn't told anyone. I just went
because you wanted to ref that final.
The ref that final. So I went to my physios, everything, and at that day, before the game, I went for a warm-up. I came off and I'm like, looked at my AR1 because he normally takes over when you get injured on the field. I'm like, look at him and I said, are you ready? He says yes, and he grabs his flag. And when he grabbed his flag, at that point I made a decision. I'm the right person for this game. And again,
saw the whole game through. No stress with the hamstring.
No, there was stress, but it didn't affect me.
You pushed through.
I pushed through, and after that, I was almost out for 5 weeks again. But you only get one of those opportunities in a lifetime.
Not every day.
Yeah.
Okay, and then before something we did speak about in the beginning of the show, before we got diverted into other stories, is just give mention to a few of the games you've refed and a few of the stadiums that you've been a part of, like this iconic one that's right behind us.
Okay, South Africa-wise, I refed at all the stadiums. From Cape Town to Bloemfontein to Polokwane, from Nelspruit. Name it.
Everything.
Everywhere.
What's your favorite stadiums you've refed in South Africa?
Kings Park.
Yeah. Is that your favorite stadium? Durban.
Yeah. It is what a stadium. It's the ground is lifted a bit, the field, and the pavilion runs into. Oh, so what an amazing
stadium! What matches did you ref there, if you can remember?
I refed under 20, under 21. I refed. That time there was still Vodacom Cup. Vodacom Cup game there, seniors, second division, because when COVID came in, they choose a stadium and 4 free teams will play at one stadium. So that was like that. But I must say Kings Park, and then the smallest stadium definitely must be, not one of the major stadiums, I can say, university-wise, it must be. Also,
there are too many.
I must say also it must be University of KwaZulu-Natal, KZN, Impies.
Is it? Is that way?
Yeah, that's also one of the
another great stadium.
Great university stadium.
Okay, okay, cool. Those that are now in South Africa, and then if we look at international, some of the games you've raced. I know you were in Hong Kong. I know you were in Dubai. I know you were in Dubai.
Yeah.
We spoke of Chile, we spoke of all those places, but just give us a few mention of the places that you've been to, that you enjoyed racing outside of Africa.
Melbourne was amazing, Sydney amazing, but the best, people won't understand if you were not there yet, is Hong Kong.
Is
The
that way?
stadium is built in the center of the town. Everything, the buildings, everything is built around it.
Okay.
And if you sit at the top of the stadium, the top floor,
Yeah.
I actually getting goosebumps. If you sit at the top floor of the stadium, you
Yeah.
can't see the people underneath you, on the first and second floor. It's built from the outside inside.
Ah,
It is amazing, and it's in the center of the town. It is wow, and everything is underneath the stadium. All the locker rooms. It's wow.
beautiful.
It's
And you
beautiful.
went there for the
Sevens.
sevens.
Yeah.
How was that?
I was a sevens referee as well. That Dubai, Hong Kong. That was I had a career of refereeing. Eh?
Well, viewers, I think we've just been signaled. Oh, Yuri, it's lovely to have you on the
Yeah.
show. It just shows that the time wasn't enough because there's still so much to talk about. But all in a nutshell, before we leave, just your thoughts on how has it been so far for you reffing in Namibia after having to ref in Hong Kong, reffing in Melbourne. This guy was in Australia, this guy was in Dubai, coming back home to Namibia. Now you're back with the NRU, you're reffing our normal domestic local games. I mean, how do you feel reffing here, and how is the rugby compared to all the places you've been to? Is it easier for you to ref here? I mean, the rugby, I'm sure, is slower here, or is it not?
Brian, it's a very good question. Each place that I was, and I got this question a few times when they normally invite us for interviews like you guys did now
Yeah.
at Hong Kong and things, place at Sydney, and they ask how's the local rugby.
Yes, that's the
And
question.
because before we go into a big tournament, we do ref local rugby in the area to prepare ourselves
For the
for the big tournament.
yeah.
Each country or each rugby division has its own flavor.
Okay.
So remember, if you take the teams here, they play to win each other. So they need to have a trick in the book.
Yeah.
So when you go to South Africa, their club rugby is different, because if you take Hamilton from Cape Town against Nakabela in Pretoria
Yeah.
in a rugby championship, because we have club championships, that's the same as here. But there's the whole South African clubs competing against each other. And you know Hamilton is going to run every ball
Yeah.
because it's a Western Cape
Aside.
club.
Yeah.
Then Nakabela is from the Bulls in Pretoria. You know,
Yeah.
they're going to drive to set up the mauls, the scrums, the
Yeah.
lineouts. They want that. So, and I think that is what is, for me, Grootfontein is doing especially well.
Yeah.
They
because
try
they
to do
represent-
something else. I
they
love to
represent
ref
the-
Grootfontein.
Yeah. You told me that before.
Yeah, I love it when to ref Grootfontein. I didn't ref Kudus or Wanderers yet, but for me, for all the clubs I ref now, I love to ref Grootfontein. They got this variety of, we're going to hit you in front, bang, 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 and then
Yeah.
quickly, now we're
Then
going to run.
Now we're gonna run. A bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if it will be very interesting if we can have 2 or 3 clubs from South Africa here, let's say the top 4 of South Africa clubs,
Yeah.
come and play here in a African club from Zimbabwe, like an African club champs.
Yes.
That will, then you can see where your club rugby
Is actually in real life. I think like
Yeah.
a local teams from SA, 2 teams from Zimbabwe, Botswana, maybe,
Yeah.
and then a few teams here, just to
Yeah.
like jaw. That would be very nice, eh?
I think that maybe we must plan something.
Well, viewers, that's all the time that we do have for you for this wonderful show. Once again, I was joined by Yuri Botha, one of the most biggest refs in Namibia currently, and he's probably going to be refing for the next 10 years if God allows, if life allows.
definitely.
But that's
And the guy in the green shirt.
and the guy in the green shirt. Next time, if he sees you, if he lets you live, then hopefully we can get to 10 years. But that's all the time that we do have for you. Once again, thanks, my brother, for joining us in studio.
Thank you.
We had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we'll see you on the next one.